Hi everyone. I think everyone's got through task 4 quite quickly, and Lucy and Maisie were asking for some more work because they didn't have too much to do. So I think this afternoon I've given you task 5, and this is how to do task 5. I've also sent you task 6. Task 6 is the mixed exercise, which combines sort of what you did in task 4 with what you're going to do in task 5, and it's just mixing it all together. The next step after this will be to do a few problem solving, and just sort of get into more interesting things where it's not just a triangle drawn out for you. Okay, let's have a start at this. So task 5 is now you're trying to find a missing angle. So it's slightly different. Before, you were given the angle, you were given one side and you had to find the other side. Now you're given two side lengths, but you've got to find the missing angle. So from this first triangle, you're all quite good at this. Now opposite the angle is the opposite side. Next to the angle is the adjacent. O and A. Look up at the top three things. Which one are you going to use? O and A is obviously tan. So tan theta equals O over A. So tan, this time we don't know theta, it's what we don't know, so we're going to call it the x, because that's what the angle is. The angle is x. So tan x equals opposite, which is 62, over adjacent, 32. Now this is a bit different. It's actually, this is probably easier than the previous exercises, it's a bit quicker, but there's just one bit you have to do here. You're sort of moving the tan to the other side. What you're really doing is you want just x on its own, so you've got to get rid of that tan. To do that, you do inverse tan on both sides, so you're doing the opposite. Like the opposite of multiplication is division. When stuff moves over the equal sign, it changes, it does the opposite. So here you can do tan minus 1 of 62 over 32. Tan minus 1 means inverse tan. It's the opposite of tan. Like squared becomes square root, tan becomes tan with a minus 1 for inverse tan. What you do now is to put that into your calculator, if you press the shift button first and then the tan button, it should come up on your calculator with tan minus 1, then the bracket. Then you press the fraction button and type in 62 over 32. Press the sideways arrow and then close the bracket. Press equals, and your answer, if you write it to the nearest degree, will be x equals 63 degrees. Okay? It's actually a little bit easier. It's just that one sort of idea of tan becoming an inverse tan when it moves to the other side of the equals. Okay, so for this one here, I haven't actually labelled what x is going to be. Let's say x is going to be this angle here. So for this one, label the sides again. Next to the across from the 90 degrees is the hypotenuse. Next to the angle is the adjacent, so A and H. Back up at the top. A and H is cos, so we're going to use cos for this one. So cos theta equals A over H. Cos theta this time again, x, equals adjacent, so 7 over 19. It really does matter which way up you put the A and the H. They have to go the way up that they are in the formula at the top here. So if you're using tan, O has to go above A. If you're using cos theta, A has to go above H. So it really does matter. Then you want to move the cos, you want to get x on its own, so inverse cos on the other side, 7 over 19. Use your calculator, so you press shift and then cos, press the fraction button, type in the 7 over 19 as the fraction, press the right arrow, close the bracket and equals, and you should get 68 degrees to the nearest degree. Okay? For the final one, let's go here, it's across from the x, that's going to be the opposite, across from the 90 degrees, hypotenuse, O and H look back at the top, O and H is going to be the sine theta for O and H. So you need sine theta. So sine theta equals O over H. So sine, the angle is x, we don't know what that is. The opposite is 12 over the hypotenuse, which is 16. To find x on its own, take the inverse sine of both sides. Sine minus 1, inverse sine of 12 over 16. X equals, on your calculator, press shift and then sine. Press the bracket, press the fraction button, type in 12 over 16. Close the brackets, equals, write it to the nearest degree. So to the nearest degree, that's 49 degrees. And that's exactly what you're doing for task 5, just finding the missing angle.